Ever assumed somebody was upset with you just because they did not reply to your message, or thought that someone was rude just because they communicated differently than you expected? Now, in our everyday life, when we interact with people, we make assumptions. So, let me introduce you to a very powerful mental model that changed the way I see communication. Now, if you're wondering what is a mental model, then watch episode 0 in the description below to know more about what is a mental model. Now, in episode 2 today, we are going to look at the model called the map is not the territory. And this mental model is going to help you avoid unnecessary misunderstandings at home, work, and even with yourself. Now, this phrase was termed by Alfred, a Polish American philosopher, and here's the idea behind it. The map is basically your personal perception, your thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs. The territory is the reality in itself, so the actual facts, events, or emotions involved. But here's the twist. Most of us walk around believing that our map is the territory, which means that our perceptions are the reality. And that's where conflicts actually begin, when we believe that we are right and the others are not always correct. Now, let's look at some examples from our everyday life, which will help you to understand and apply this model in a better way. So, let's look at example number 1. Imagine that your friend does not reply to your message. You instantly jump to the conclusion that she is upset with me. That is your map. But the territory is that, and that is the reality, is that she could be tired, unwell, or just caught up in everyday life. So the lesson we learn here is ask, don't assume. The gap between map and territory can damage relationships if left unchecked. So before the next time you jump to a conclusion, ask yourself this. Now, example number 2. Imagine that your colleague is very blunt in a meeting and you instantly get offended. You're like, this person is very rude. But the actual territory or the reality is that in their culture, directness shows respect and honesty. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I discuss about individualistic and collectivist cultures. In individualistic cultures, it is easier for people to express themselves. Whereas in collectivist cultures, which is like Asian cultures, people find it very hard to be direct. And they often assume that the people who are assertive are being aggressive. Now, lesson we learn here is that your context matters. Cultural maps differ, but don't project your lens onto someone else. Now, imagine this example number 3. You have an argument with your partner and they raise their voice. You instantly feel that they are disrespecting you. And I do understand if this happens regularly, then it's a matter of concern. But if it's a very rare occasion, the reality or the territory could be that they are just overwhelmed or feeling unheard. So the lesson that we learn here is behavior is often a surface signal. Real emotions lie beneath those behaviors, and we need to start listening beyond the verbal words. In communications, we say that 55% of our communications are body language, 38% for our tone of voice. So start observing that as well, and then you will realize that your communications are transformational. So here's how you can apply this in your life as a communicator. There are 4 things that you can do to improve yourself and apply this model. Always pause before responding. Ask yourself, am I reacting to my map or the actual territory? Clarify before assuming. Ask gentle questions. Understand what is the intent of the person. Empathy is so underrated. Remember that everyone's map is shaped by their life, trauma, and truth. And keep updating your map. Be open to learning new things. Reframe when new facts show up. So you don't always need to throw away your map, which is your current beliefs. It's just learning to keep updating them and observing the people around you. So every time you communicate with curiosity instead of assumption, you will learn to build stronger relationships and a calmer, clearer mind. Remember that your map is a guide, it's not the ground that you walk on. Let the awareness guide you, especially when emotions run high. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. Don't miss episode 3. We are going to explore Circle of Competence, another game changing